I am president.
I'm gonna tell you what people need, huh?
People need money. Lots and lots of money.
That's right. We gonna print so much damn money. I'm gonna give every single American $1 million. And then we gonna have a big ass party with all us millionaires.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. Beware the Ides of March is what Julius Caesar was warned when the Senate was about to betray him and stab him in the back and steal his power. And as Joe Biden would say, international pressure. Everyone knows that Joe Biden is, of course, suffering from dementia and from strokes and seizures and has to literally be ushered off the stage at events and have people scream and yell at him. Joe Biden is not fit to be commander-in-chief, and now you're beginning to see the Ides of March surrounding him as various people from his administration are saying, I'm ready to serve as president. Kamala Harris says she's ready to step into the role as president. If Biden is unwell, I may have to take over, Kamala Harris says, while she's the one who shows up at Ground Zero for the September 11th remembrance moment. Well, that's interesting. That's often and regularly a position only reserved for the president. They're doing it in plain sight, ladies and gentlemen. What else are they doing? Well, let's look over here. Desperate Democrats are urging Michelle Obama to run for president. Could Michelle Obama run for president? Well, this doesn't look like a particularly credible website. Let's go ahead and check with people who are actually credible. And let's undergird this with the understanding that there would be a huge portion of progressives that would absolutely love Michelle Obama to step in and destroy Joe Biden. Cenk Uygur, who runs the Young Turks, said, do the right thing, Joe, this weekend. It is extremely selfish for you to run for president, demands that Joe Biden step aside for the next generation. Young Turks host is decrying Biden's plan to seek office in 2024, saying it's selfish. Man. So Democrats are pissed off, and they are now rage tweeting about it, demanding Michelle Obama run. Well, what do I know about Michelle Obama? I will tell you this. There is a biographer of Michelle Obama who wrote the definitive Michelle Obama 2024 pathway in a new book, and he joined Grant Stinchfield on his show, in Real America's Voice, to explain how it will be Michelle Obama taking over for Joe Biden. Watch.
There's another side to this, too. Maybe another possibility of why they're going after Barack Obama right now. Maybe this is all about Michelle. Maybe Michelle and her aspirations of becoming the next president of the United States, slipping in when Joe Biden slips on out because he's not capable. Maybe this is about someone trying to damage Michelle Obama. Maybe it's the Republicans. Heck, maybe it's Gavin Newsom's people. But maybe, just maybe, Michelle Obama is the cause of all of this hate leveled at Barack Obama. Well, joining me now is the author of Michelle Obama 2024, her real life story and plan for power, and the director of the documentary Michelle Obama 2024. Joel Gilbert is with us. Joel, welcome to the program.
Thank you. So good to be here. Thank you.
Well, Joel, it's a pleasure having you on. An old saying I say on this program all the time is there's no such thing as coincidences. I just couldn't help but notice all the things coming out recently about Barack Obama. And then, you know, it was a caller who says, hey, you got to look at Joel Gilbert and his documentary. I thought, well, maybe this may be about Michelle and trying to damage her.
Yeah, I think that may be part of it. The allegations that have come out in the media in the last few weeks really were around for years. David Garrow's book that had the quote where Obama said he makes love to men in his imagination came out several years ago. And of course, Larry Sinclair was from way back in 2008. So the fact that these are coming to the surface tells you that I think there's something going on in Obama world. And I make the case that I believe that Joe Biden is on his way out. I think that's pretty much the consensus. Nobody really believes he'll be the candidate in 2024 because of health, because of corruption, because of his terrible record. And I make the case in my film and book that Michelle has been pretty much copying Barack Obama's path to the White House. Barack had a voter registration organization in Chicago called Project Vote before he ran for president. Michelle founded something called When We All Vote that's supported by the Soros Group for $26 million. She's been running around the country registering people for several years. Barack wrote 2 autobiographies, Dreams from My Father and The Audacity of Hope. Sure enough, Michelle wrote 2 autobiographies, Becoming and The Light We Carry. They're also on Netflix as TV specials. And of course, Barack was the keynote speaker who introduced John Kerry at the 2004 Democrat convention. Sure enough, Michelle introduced Joe Biden at the 2020 Democrat convention. So I think she's positioned herself just like Barack did, and the Democrat Party has set it up for her. Don't forget, they moved the first primary out of Iowa, where she would have had to campaign in 100 counties, to South Carolina, where half the Democrat electorate there for the primaries are going to be African American. She also claims that as her adopted home state.
How, Joel, does she make her way then around Kamala Harris or possibly even Gavin Newsom, who I know has aspirations of this?
Well, Michelle Obama is the best-loved Democrat. She's the most popular person in the country, if not the entire world. She's had 15 years of all positive publicity, hundreds of magazine covers, hundreds of interviews, sitcoms, talk shows. Kamala Harris is not a very popular person. Even the black community does not consider her to be black because her father's from Jamaica, her mother's from India, she grew up in Canada, so she's not really considered African American by the black community. Gavin Newsom is from my state. He's a failed governor. He's kind of a snarky white guy. And don't forget, the Democrats have now turned toward ethnic minorities in positions of power because of the progress that Donald Trump made in delivering for minorities with prison reform, the economy, school choice. So the Democrats are desperate to keep their core voting groups of blacks and minorities. That's why they appointed the UN ambassador as a black lady, minority leader in the House, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, press secretary. Their message is rather insulting. If you're black, their message is, we look like you, so vote for us. That's their message. So Michelle just checks all the boxes. They're really not interested in white men anymore.
All right. What's your predictions as they set up against President Trump? Clearly, I think Joe Biden's the easiest to beat. And I say this with the caveat that if the elections are fair and the systems are fair. I think Michelle Obama is very much like Hillary Clinton. She's despised by so many people. I do get that she's loved by many as well. Do you think she stands even a chance against a President Trump?
Yeah, Michelle's a formidable candidate. She's been working on these minority groups and women outreach for years. So she's really been developing these constituents groups for years. She's very, very popular. She'll come in and say, remember how much you love the Obama years, and we never had any scandals. She'll appeal to nostalgia and say she wants to bring the country together again, and that's why she's running. So it'll be a difficult race, but I think my film and my book, I show Michelle's real story, where it shows that Michelle was running away from the black community as a kid. She ran away. Her and her brother refused to go to schools where there were all black kids and went an hour and a half away to study with whites. They were doing white flight. And then Michelle, as a professional in Chicago, she made 20,000 blacks homeless when she knocked down the projects at Cabrini Green to give away the land to these Democrat donor developers like Tony Rezko when Michelle worked for the mayor of Chicago. And then for the University of Chicago Medical Center, Michelle headed up the Southside Health Collaborative, and her job was to deny access to health care to black residents from the South Side. Michelle would do something called patient dumping, which was illegal. If you showed up and you're black at the hospital, she'd ship you back to the South Side to these crappy clinics. So the reality is Michelle has a terrible relationship with the black community. She was afraid of them growing up. They would beat her up and call her an Oreo, meaning you're black on the outside, but you're white on the inside. And she exploited them in her professional career. So I think my book and film really show who Michelle Obama really is.
Well, if she were to get in the race, and I'm sure they would be going to your book and film to get the goods on Michelle Obama. Lastly, real quick, if you can, you've got the gay sex allegations. You said they are old, right? But they're all resurfacing now. The gay sex, Malik is coming out. You've got the letter. You've got the Joan Rivers segment that's from 2014 that's now trending on Twitter. Does any of this hurt Michelle? Real quick, Joel.
It really doesn't. She is a pop cultural phenomena, and I don't think it hurts her at all. She uses those types of things to say that people are attacking her because of her race, because she's so insecure about her relationship with the black community. So I think Michelle's in great shape. I'm predicting in November Biden will drop out for health or other reasons, And that's when the party will turn to Michelle Obama, who's the only person who can get enough signatures and raise all the money she needs in a couple of weeks.